What's going on, guys? Do a little intro here. Been a long time since I've done live video, so crushing some work down here in the office. Up and at it pretty early today, training the Rutgers wrestling team. We start at 7, had the alarm set for 5. I was up at 4:30 a.m. I was kind of getting beat up by some sort of cold, and I was trying to fight it, but the darn thing beat me. So I finally went to the doctor Wednesday, and I said, just give me some medicine to get my voice back. I can't coach like this without a voice. So medicine's kicking in, but I think it's like making it tough for me to sleep because Thursday I was up at 3 a.m. Up at 3 a.m. and I got to the university at 6:30 and got a great workout in. So I've been training before the team gets in. So I want to do a Q&A with you guys, and any questions you guys have. That's the way I like to roll. So fire away, man. Fire away. What do you guys got for questions? And it is Friday, so hope everybody's ready to have a great weekend. I don't have too much downtime, so going to be hustle mania for me as always. Thanks for everybody for stopping in. Next week I'll have a better voice. Should have a fully strong voice by Monday. So what do you guys got going on? Drop some comments, questions below, and let's do this as a Q&A. A lot of people popping in. It's good to see. Hopefully I caught some of you on your lunch break on the East Coast. Johnny V, how do you stay passionate with everything that you do? John, I'm passionate about everything, but sometimes the things that I'm passionate about, if I'm working with people that aren't passionate about them, it sucks the energy out of you, and it makes me, I don't want to speak for others, it makes me feel bad. Because then I'm like, man, this is the very thing I loved, and maybe I shouldn't have tried to create a business, out of something that I love to do. And for somebody like you, Johnny, very passionate, people get offended by people like you and I because we speak our mind, and we're not trying to offend people. We're just trying to get the best out of them because we know what it's like. We know how it feels like to have passion, and intensity and success running through our veins. It's an amazing feeling. I get fired up speaking about it. So I think the crucial thing is being around like-minded people, being around people who are on the same path. It's kind of like that story I shared with you guys that my buddy Joe DeSena talks about. And I don't remember what team it was, but it was the crew team. I'm not sure what country they were from. They were prepping for the Olympics, and they said, hey, we got whatever, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever that time frame was until the next Olympics. And they said, everything we do has to be about making the boat go faster. Want to go out to the movies tonight and eat popcorn and chicken fingers? Will it make the boat go faster? No. Well, that's out. Want to go out tonight drinking, partying? Will it make the boat go faster? No. And what happens is that people who are very passionate, who don't get away from the less passionate, the less driven people, it will destroy your energy. And obviously I'm speaking from experience. I've been in those places many times, and it's tough. I always say this. This is another thing I say. I go, man, I wonder, life would be so easy if I just sucked. if I didn't give a shit. If I didn't care that my team, let's say I'm a sport coach and my team has, 20 competitions a year, and we lose 75%. And we lose 75% every year. And then I just go home and turn on the TV and sit down and just be like, yeah, whatever. But I would never, I fucking hate losing, guys. I hate it. I hate second place because I know the pain. I hate it. Some people they don't give a crap. So if I was a coach and we're losing, I would end up being like, you know what? We're losing. I suck as a coach. I'm going to go and visit anybody who's willing to share information. I'm going to sign up for seminars. I'm going to read books. I'm going to make myself better, and then I'm going to make the athletes better. But if you suck, it's easy because you don't care. You're just punching that clock. And there's a lot of clock punchers out there. So the key is, who are you around? That's it. Sig saying, reconnect with Joe DeFranco watching your old school videos. We are Jersey's finest. Yep, love us or hate us, baby. Do you think your young guys... Oh, do you train your younger athletes with the younger ones? Scott, yes, and I'm going to tell you why. We're more of a private gym versus these big commercialized, speed schools. 4 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday, middle school, 5 p.m., 3-year-olds, 3-year-old speed training, 7 p.m. high school. My coaches are trained, and our system is based on a way where it's progressions and regressions. If you're unable to do the back squat, there are squat regressions for that athlete, as well as movement variations, resistance variations. My man Mike Couple saying, you disconnected, love you, how you been? Yep. I usually delete my social apps every other week for about 3-4 days, maybe a week at a time, just to get away from that stuff. Mackle, what's your opinion of conjugate training for in-season? We do the conjugate method. Bands for speed training on lifts during in-season. It depends on the skill level of that lifter. And most athletes they just at the college level, from Lehigh to Rutgers. These guys are not maxed out with the free weight exercises. And we utilize chains, but bands and chains does not mean conjugate. Conjugate is a system of training where we have a strength day, a speed day. We follow those exercises with repetition work for hypertrophy, for tendon and ligament strength. And then it is the changing of the exercises so the body does not accommodate. So we're more of a concurrent method because we train twice a week, whereas the conjugate system was based on weightlifters who I believe were training 3 times a day. Bart saying, what are your thoughts on occlusion training? Funny question, man, because I was just texting John Welburn, and he brought it up that I think he connected with the professor who came up with the occlusion training, and he said the guy works out once a week, and he was in his early 60s, and he's ripped. So, I don't know. The other side to that is, crack addicts are ripped. So being ripped doesn't mean something works. Sean, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Thanks for enjoying the article. Carl, thanks for stopping by. Hope your son is doing well. Mr. Mackle, you got it. Are you going out to watch your boy wrestle? I'm sure you are. Any other questions? If I missed your question, guys, feel free to post it below, and I will re-answer anything that I've missed. Absolute Strength, that's my boy Tracker Rob. Tracker Rob, you're the man. You guys could see, got home and my dog, she takes a nap down here. Hey, mama. Hey, what you doing? Took a nap? She takes a nap after I take her to the park running with her. Can you have a good balanced program with little to no pressing? Not sure why you're not pressing, Brian, but if it's an injury, you could do lower body, you could do pulling, you could do some shoulder prehab, rehab. I repost a lot of that stuff on my Instagram for you guys. And that's kind of where I am. My pushing exercises are more push-ups and Swiss bar benching with the kettlebells and the bands. Thanks for saying hi. Been great since the podcast. Good, man. Carl, good. Tell Ben I said hello. Sean saying keg Olympic style lifts. Any more instruction about those? Saw it in an old video. Sean, I don't get too carried away with trying to take an odd object and utilizing too many movements with it. So if I'm doing sandbags, kegs, clean and press, carry, shoulder, I don't start getting crazy with stuff. The basics are the ticket. I think we've kind of got a little carried away with everything looking like a circus act, And then people forget that the best athletes, always, the Olympians and whatnot, they're squatting, they're deadlifting, they're doing cleans, they're doing calisthenics, they're jumping, they're sprinting. And that's the truth. What are my thoughts on the excuse makers versus the action takers? You know, my thoughts are I'm always confused with a lot of excuses. When I come up with my own excuses, I feel like I want somebody next to me to punch me in the face for my weak excuse. Because this is what I think about. My grandma and grandfather escaped the Holocaust. My grandfather lost his whole family. They walked for days. My grandfather fought in the Polish army, then in the Russian army, then in the Israeli army. And I always say to myself, what excuse do I have that my life is so hard? I'm not escaping the Holocaust. I'm not being attacked. Like, I've got a roof over my head. I've got my 2 legs, and I've got dinner and food on the table. I'm always confused by the excuse makers. We are in an era, a time period where things are being, democratized, meaning information is being shared much more. Things are being decommoditized, and deconstructed, easier access, cheaper. And what's happening is people are so used to that they're having a hard time understanding the difference from good to great. We see gyms today for $9.99 a month. When I was in high school in the early 90s, it was $45 per month to join the gym, with much less equipment than what we see now, because we valued that stuff. We respected that stuff. We took pride in being able to go to a gym. And that $45 was paid for by me, by mowing lawns and having jobs. I worked at a gas station. I cut grass. I worked at a pizzeria. I think in one of my podcasts I spoke about how the owner told me to clean the toilet with a rag in my hand. And then I thought we were going to get into a fist fight in the back. He was cursing me out like crazy. And I remember I was sweating bullets. I must have lost 10 pounds one night working in the kitchen, and he was cursing me out. And I was like, if we go out back, I'm going to blast double this guy. I'm going to blast double this dude. I'm going to, boom, blast him. Vince, for training cross-country athletes, get them strong. In season, don't do leg flexion, so do some light deadlift, sumo deadlift, maybe some light box squats, low volume, but do back extensions, do upper body work, get their upper body strong, and don't be afraid to take them through a circuit. You could pick like 5 exercises and take them through 5 rounds. Trap bar deadlift, pull up or recline row, push up or dumbbell bench, back extension, and face pulls. Take them through 5 rounds of that, and then maybe get some grip and abs at the end. Make their body stronger and more durable. Are you afraid of turning on the camera? How do you deal with the haters? Lots of people hate me, Dane, and I think I used to get into it with them. From my earliest times on the internet, some big names were calling me, he's an idiot, he's a loser. And, I came across a couple of quotes. One, I remember, I can't remember who it is. It's one of the philosophers. It says, rudeness is the weak man's imitation or form of strength. So being rude shows their weakness. And Louis Simmons said, weak people always hate strong people. So food for thought. Favorite podcast to listen to? I always listen to Spartan Up. I love Power Athlete, Mark Bell's Powercast, Travis Mash, Barbell Shrugged. I listen to a lot of them. It is hard to keep up with everybody's podcasts. And I don't know if everybody's as busy as I am, but I'm crazy busy. Rutgers by day, home in the afternoon to do this kind of work. Afternoon, run the gym or take care of the kids to their sports. Weekends, all sports. And I'm talking about nothing local. Traveling anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes is a pretty common thing for me to do with the kids. Two Brain Business is a good podcast. I'm just looking here at my books. Westside Barbell podcast is great. There's a lot of great podcasts out there. Tim Ferriss podcast, The One Thing podcast. There's a lot of podcasts, guys. Johnny's asking, Part-time jobs for teenagers, make friends and memories? Absolutely. Spent all my money at GNC in the produce and dairy aisle before I found fitness. I used to work at GNC my freshman year and early sophomore year in college. I worked at the early days GNC. And I think I was getting paid like, I don't know, $8 and change. What other questions you guys have? And also, I'd like to hear where everybody's from. Drop a comment. Let me know where you guys are from. Coach Ortiz is in the house. What's happening, my man? Trying to see any other podcasts that I like to listen to. I'm just looking at all the books I've got. A lot of books here, guys. A lot of books. Sweden, that's amazing. Cool. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, wow. Waiting for your son to be born. Just amazing, dude. Just absolutely amazing. I remember when my son was born. Johnny's from Wisconsin. Nutley, what's happening? Belleville and Nutley. Excellent. When my son was born, when my daughter was born, just brings tears to my eyes, you know? My kids are at school now. Yes. Oh, man, dude. That's going to just be amazing. Do I ever hear a 5, 6, 7 Academy? Nah, never heard of it. Bloomington, Illinois. Very cool. Man, thinking of my kids being born, and that gives a whole new perspective on time, because it's like, oh my God, my kids are 11 and 9. In 7 more years, like, my daughter's going to college. Like, I mean, that's nuts, dude. That's why I got to keep on lifting. Got to make sure I scare some of these kids. Scare some of these knuckleheads. Illinois. We got Jersey in the house. What else you guys got? No more questions? Great. Here's a question. Any advice for training long-distance runners? Yep, I just gave... Somebody just asked that. Let me do this. You're going to run a 10K in under an hour. That's pretty doable for work and really struggling with the long-distance mindset. Let me tell you something. I ran a 5-mile race a couple of years ago, and I never ran 5 miles. Leading up to that time, I was doing a 1.5 miles, 2 miles. I'd do a 3 mile here and there. What's happening, Rich? Good morning. But I would do circuit training. And I remember when I ran the 5 mile, I listened to the Murph tribute on YouTube, and I just kept replaying the audio, Lieutenant Michael Murphy, and you hear the president, actually not the president, you hear one of, like, I think the commanding generals speaking at his funeral when he got, like, one of the awards. And just, like, it gives me goosebumps. And I remember I was running that 5 mile, and, like, I just wasn't even tired. And I wanted to make my body hurt. I was pushing so hard, and it was 5 miles, and I loved it. And I remember just, like, gunning through the finish line, no coasting. I just kept replaying it. So I think if you train hard and train yourself to be tough, and you get rid of this, oh, I'm having a hard time getting in the mindset, you know, stop getting into the 5 mile mindset and just, you know, dig deep. You have to go beyond, oh, I like it, I don't like it. In this world, very few of us get to only do what we enjoy doing, okay? Workouts have been crazy. My son will think a dad bod means strong with a potential. Yeah, we got to kill that whole dad bod thing. Traditional distance runner, add some fast 400s to your workouts. Coach Pritch is right. Yep, do some 400-meter repeats. What does your strength and conditioning look like for your wrestlers the week of the tournament? It really depends how far we are into the season. So in season, we'll be lifting on Tuesday and Wednesday, which makes it always tricky because they will fly unless we're home, but they'll fly on a Thursday, maybe a Friday morning. So I'll just go lighter, but they emotionally and psychologically have a good confidence when we work hard. So I don't get too crazy on a deload this or that, and I don't announce, oh, we're deloading, because then it feeds into their brain. The work is what actually gets them stronger and better. And here's the thing, when you're in shape and when you're training on the regular, you're never really, oh, I got to deload up, because I'm never really like, we will have that kind of overreaching period, but the big deload is going to come before nationals. That's for sure. Yes, Carl, absolutely, my friend. Back to taking care of the animals. Fartlek training, yep. Got to look that back up again. It's been a while since I heard of that. Anybody got a final question before I shut it down? What do you guys got? Don't worry. Next week, back to podcasting. Throat. Back to full power next week. Let's get one final question. You guys got as much energy as my dog. All right, guys, it's been awesome. Heads up, right now, undergroundstrengthcert.com is discounted. That's the online certification. Have I ever thought of designing my own equipment line? Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm staying in my lane. Staying in my lane, guys, just like I should. Okay? Much respect, guys. Talk to everybody later. Peace.